created by the CIA, and while you and your friends were walking around your city,
we still been
scanning the
doing the
Earth to
boxing
catch your
every
favorite
day.
Pokemon, the
I just been
game's
having
developer,
problems with the
Niantic
uploading.
Incorporated, was
Alright?
collecting all
We
that
still
data
doing
and
the,
using it to
you know,
build
1 out
advanced
of 100
3D maps
challenge.
to
If you don't
facilitate
see-
military attacks on Third World.
Yo, if you don't see like day 12 or 13, the work is still getting done. I promise you. I promise you, it's still getting done. I just, storage full and, file corruptions, stuff like that has been eliminating how many videos I could post. But the work is getting done. Trust me. You guys will see the end result. It's going to prove everything.
What the f*** did I just hear? That can't be true. No. There's no way I was part of that gang. There's just no chance. Yo, there is no way that is real. That actually is like a Black Mirror plotline, man. There is no fucking shot.
Pokemon Go.
You see, Pokemon Go was created by the same guy who essentially created Google Earth. John Hanke was the co-founder of Keyhole, which developed a 3D digital mapping program called EarthViewer. Keyhole's EarthViewer 3D client application uses video game-like 3D graphics and access to massive databases of network-hosted Earth information, including satellite imagery and aerial photography.
What is this quality? Is this my fault? No, it's just old.
To produce an interactive digital model of the Earth. The product was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before in the early 2000s, but it was unclear what its use case would be, and therefore Keyhole was bleeding money. Every few months for years, John would find himself scrambling to raise money from Silicon Valley investors to keep the lights on. That was until In-Q-Tel saved his company from going under.
Then we got really a lifeline from a kind of unusual source. In-Q-Tel was this new little venture capital firm that was basically a government VC firm with money from the intelligence community. So that was one of the few.
Okay. I don't even think I need to say how weird that sentence just there was. Hold on. It's a VC firm funded by the government intel. Why is government intelligence agencies funding venture capitalist firms? Why is the public sector funding private sector business, bro? That's like, and not like in like a, not like they gave them a grant or something like that. That's a bizarre sentence to hear out loud, by the way.
Funds in the valley that was doing real business, and they were making a lot of investments at the time. This was in the kind of post 9/11 security ramp up period, and so they found out about our technology and invested a few $1 million in the company.
Thanks to In-Q-Tel's funding, Keyhole was supplying technology to troops in Iraq and the Pentagon, and they ultimately became a profitable company due to the massive amount of government contracts rolling in. Shortly after, Keyhole was acquired by Google in 2004, and they turned this technology into...
Oh, so this is what it was. Before it was ever Google Earth, it was this.
After Keyhole was acquired by Google in 2004, and they turned this technology into what we now know as Google Earth. After Google's acquisition, John Hanke became the vice president of product management for
Look at this. This thing. Oh my God, I don't know something about this. Let me not say what's on my mind, gang.
Companies
Get this nigga off the fucking bike,
oversaw
bro.
products like Google Earth and Maps. Google Earth was revolutionary because it gave everyone access to detailed satellite imagery of nearly the entire planet from a home computer. You could explore unfamiliar cities, inspect neighborhoods before moving, and plan trips, but they quickly realized it was far more powerful than that. Humanitarian organizations began using it to coordinate disaster relief. Scientists monitored deforestation and climate change. Archaeologists used it to discover previously unknown ruins. Journalists investigated war zones, and governments used it because it was better than anything they had access to.
Oh, we 10% warning. Ain't died.
I used it because back in the day, you had to buy a fucking GPS machine for $600 if you wanted to know where you were going when you got in the car. You had to buy a GPS machine for $600, bro. And then Google Maps and Google Earth came out, and it was fucking free. It made no sense how that was possible.
It ended up being used in ways that we never anticipated. I guess I'll just say it that way.
Yo, I remember that. Yeah, we had to buy fucking GPSs back in the day.
The Coast Guard was using Google Earth
back in the day, the PSP.
To basically find
before the PS Vita, the PSP had it too.
You are the product.
Kind of crazy. You would think, well, the government, they've got lots of sophisticated software, but as it turns out, web software that's available that already has the data in it, it's ready, easy to use. A breakthrough, really.
Sexy as fuck, don't it?
Let's get to work on a life you love.
I'm rich as fuck. I'm rich as fuck.
With someone you can trust.
Ten out of 10 friends say you have to go to that wing place, and that pizza shop, and that noodle spot, which you have time for 0 at.
But after working for 6 years inside Google's corporate ecosystem, Hankey wanted the freedom to combine everything he'd learned about digital maps and augmented reality to create a video game. Now, if you ask me, that seems like a crazy career change. Technically, the foundation of John's EarthViewer product started in college while working with his classmates on an open-world video game idea. But he knew the technology had much more potential, and it did. So after changing the world with his vision, creating a CIA-funded startup for military operations, and then getting acquired by a tech giant, going back to being a video game developer seems like a massive career and lifestyle change. That is, unless it was part of a larger plan. Google actually did not want John Hankey to leave the company. For whatever reason, they felt that his video game idea might become valuable to them in the future, so they convinced him to create Niantic Labs as an autonomous unit inside of Google.
Niantic's owned by Google? Bitch! Niantic is owned by Google? Whoa.
They gave him the freedom of creating a startup, but using all of Google's resources inside of Google's walls. If it failed, Google would get their employee back, and if it succeeded, then Google could be an early investor or part owner of a major video game innovation. Niantic's first major product was an app called Field Trip, a virtual tour guide that analyzed the user's location, provided suggestions for nearby landmarks to visit, and offered information about the area. It wasn't much of a game, but it laid the foundation for their next big project called Ingress. Launched in 2012, Ingress was an augmented reality mobile game that prompts users to explore their neighborhoods and locate portals at nearby landmarks. This was quite literally the same idea as Pokemon Go. Those who played it were intoxicated by the addictive gameplay loop, although it failed to pull in a large player base even years after its release. Luckily for Niantic, one of the game's players would prove to be an invaluable asset with direct ties to the Pokemon Company. But real quick, I'm sure you have all heard thanks Surfshark. A Japanese Google Maps engineer named Tatsuo Nomura pitched the idea of placing Pokemon inside of Google Maps as an April Fool's joke. He traveled to Japan and got direct permission from the Pokemon Company to implement the feature. John Hankey asked Nomura to show the Pokemon Company's executive board the Ingress game. Little did they know that the president of the Pokemon Company was already a massive fan of the game. And because of this, Niantic was able to secure a partnership with Nintendo and create Pokemon Go. They launched the game on July 6, 2016, but they never could have anticipated the chaos that would come next.
Yo, that's not racist, nigga. He does look like Jason. Yo, in 2016, when this game came out, let me tell you how it saved me from depression, gang. I was on campus alone. I had to stay on campus because I couldn't record YouTube videos at the crib. So I literally am 2 hours away from home. Pokemon Go came out, and I'm outside, nigga, trying to capture everything, bro. For like 4 weeks, I was averaging like 30,000 steps a day, gang. And then I found out that everybody started using cars and shit and like GPS hacks and stuff like that to get away. And I was like, nah, they ruined the game. They ruined it. But like for like 3-4 weeks, though.
In just 2 months after its release, the app was downloaded over 500 million times, and an estimated 21 million players logged in every single day on average. Not only had it surpassed the success of mobile games like Candy Crush or Clash Royale, but it was pulling in more engagement than websites like Twitter and Facebook. The concept was simple. You walked around your neighborhood and searched for virtual Pokemon. When you found one, the game used your phone's camera to make it look like the Pokemon was right in front of you, and you used Pokeballs to catch them and add them to your collection. The game incentivized users to explore the world around them, offering various digital Pokestops at notable locations or landmarks. These Pokestops served as a hub to collect in-game items and use special lures to attract more Pokemon. This also included Pokemon gyms. Players selected from one of 3 teams and would compete with rival Pokemon hunters to control areas to earn Pokecoins and buy upgrades. Pokemon Go wasn't just another mobile video game. It transformed your local neighborhood into a fantasy world. This is why it became a cultural phenomenon almost instantly. Public parks were overflowing with players searching for rare Pokemon. Restaurants and stores used nearby Pokestops to advertise their businesses, and content creators were racking up millions of views just by playing the game. The game skyrocketed into mainstream pop culture.
Yeah, I knew shit was crazy when fucking Chris Smoove dropped the Pokemon Go video. I was like, damn, they got Chris Smoove out the house?
Becoming a topic of discussion on late-night television shows, and was infamously referenced by Hillary Clinton during her 2016 presidential campaign.
I don't know who created.
Go to the election. Shut your bitch ass up.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
It's safe.
Data analytics is an awesome field to get into.
Really?
There's a
Add
ton
after that, I
of
wanted to
open
hear
jobs
what
right
AJ
now.
was gonna
The
say.
is really strong. The opportunities to grow
Come
are
on, man. Woo! Hey, what about that email
Holy
list,
smokes,
though?
man. Holy holy, jeez Louise. Yo.
How about you go open that email list?
Pokemon Go to the polls. It's funny because I know she rehearsed that.
To say Pokemon Go was taking over the world, but it wasn't just making headlines for its record-breaking numbers. It was also being linked to real-world accidents, life-altering injuries, and even deaths. Only days after the game's release, 2 men were hospitalized while playing Pokemon Go. They hopped a fence to get access to a Pokemon on the other side, ignoring a sign warning pedestrians of the unstable ground on a nearby cliff, which both men eventually fell down. The players sustained serious injuries, but fortunately survived. Others were not so lucky. A truck driver in Japan hit 2 women while playing Pokemon Go, severely injuring one and killing the other. Players of the game began to find themselves in increasingly dangerous situations as both drivers and pedestrians were getting distracted by the app. And the more people became immersed in the world of Pokemon, they lost touch with the world around them. Players began disrupting religious
On everything I stand for, 2 houses down from my crib back when I lived in Ajax, after I dropped out from school, there was a fucking library that looked just like this, bro. There was a library that looked just like this, and it had the craziest Pokestop in the postal code. So everybody would come to where I live to come dominate the Pokestop. There was a gym right beside it too, and it started creating mad traffic in the area. And when I had friends come over to my house, they would literally leave my house to go get the Pokemon at the stop and then come back. It was a problem, gang. It was getting too crazy. I'm be honest. It was just traffic starting to come as a result.
services and funerals.
And this
The
was like a
Holocaust
year or
Museum
two
in
after the
Washington,